How's it going, YouTube? As you see behind me, we have the Cummins in the garage. It is barely in the garage, but in the garage. It's been here for maybe 3 minutes. And as you can see, why we have it in the garage is we've got a couple of oil leaks. I mean, you can already see the puddle down there. Like I said, it's been in here for 5 minutes tops. And it's already leaking oil kind of all over the place. These are probably from where I was kind of maneuvering the truck in and out to try to fit it in here and weasel its way. But the front bumper is pretty much kissing the new tires over there. The rear bumper we're probably going to have to take off because it is very close. Well, actually it isn't very close. It is or would be hitting the garage door when I went to shut it, so we'll probably take off the rear bumper today. If you guys are curious why the truck is in here, if you guys missed the first video, I got this Cummins for fairly cheap because it has a ton of oil leaks. I got a bunch of parts in the mail finally. Got a new set of headlights, which I didn't buy tail lights because I thought the tail lights were good. Because I've seen this one, I just assumed the other one was good. Just kind of being a dummy on my part, and just realized when I pulled into the garage that there's a crack that goes all the way down it. So probably have to buy another set of tail lights for it. So that's no biggie, but we do have a set of new headlights for it, which I can go ahead and show you guys now. They're literally just the clear ones that I have on the 1500, just clear housings with the clear lens instead of the amber lens. What else have we got? This is the gasket for the VP44 because we'll be taking it off, so I just want to go ahead and replace this gasket. Some guys don't replace this gasket when you take the VP44 off. You really need to. It's only a couple bucks. So just go ahead and replace that, especially with this truck having 300,000 miles on it. Got new power steering lines. It's just a hydro boost setup, so I can get all new power steering lines because I'm sure they're leaking. So got all those new. Just a set of switchbacks, and I have in the 1500 new sway bar bushings. Because if you guys watched the first video on this truck, you'll know the sway bar bushings are pretty blown out. So I went and got a set of those. This is just some hardware for the hubcaps. Whenever the guy ran these spike lug nuts, he took the hubcaps off of it and kind of broke some of the bolts here and there. As you see, this one's still sticking in here, so I gotta yank that one out. I want to take these spike lug nuts off, run the normal set, and then be able to put the hubcaps back on here. The tires are still the bald mud grapplers. If you guys watched the last video, when we put Jonathan's dash in, you would have seen that I got a new set of tires. They're not 35s, they're a little bit smaller. These are the fuel grippers, which I already forget the size. Where are they? 285, 65, 20. So a set of 285, 65, 20 as I drop my funnel. But those will be the tires that we're going to be running on the truck. But before we put the tires on there, we got the big oil leak, which is why this one is here. Brand new Tappet cover billet from Keating. I've never dealt with Keating before, so we'll see how this goes. All the hardware for it. But I wouldn't bill it. You can go cheaper on them, but I just went ahead and got one of the more expensive ones. Actually, it was expensive, but not the most expensive. It was around $270, I want to say. You can get them for about $100, but I just went ahead and went with a billet one. I've always heard good things about Keating. Like I said, never personally ran them, but from all the reviews and everything, which the date's actually on here, I just realized. 4/18/24, that's kind of cool. But yeah, gonna go ahead and put that one on there. I just want to do it one time, and whenever I go to sell this truck, the next owner hopefully will never have to redo it. This should be the bulletproof method for never having a Tappet cover or a push rod cover, some guys call it, leak again. I also got Air Dog. This is just the Raptor, just kind of help out with the fueling. I decided not to go with the bigger Air Dog or the bigger Fast. I just went with the Raptor for the time being. So I really don't know much about this truck, so I didn't want to throw a ton of money into it. That's hence why I haven't bought injectors, you know, everything else for it yet. I need to make sure that everything motor-wise is good with it before we start throwing any power additives at it. This is just a throw one for the time being, because we have to take apart everything on the front end, not the front end, on the side of the block anyways when we do the Tappet cover, because with the VP44 has to come off. We're also going to take off the vacuum. Oh, here it is, here, that's reminding me. We're also taking off the vacuum pump and the power steering. This is the kit and parts to go ahead and replace and reseal the vacuum kit. I don't know if we have to buy a new power steering setup yet. If you guys remember, the first video was kind of whining a little bit, but I'm hoping that once we get all the leaks fixed and kind of put new fluid and everything through it, I'm hoping it just kind of recirculates and fixes the power steering itself. But if we do have to replace the power steering, it's no biggie. But yeah, so I guess next thing we're gonna work on is trying to make this thing fit in the garage, because like I said, it would definitely be hitting that rear bumper. So let's go ahead and start tackling that. We'll back up the truck a little bit, kind of give you guys a little bit more look-sees in the engine bay. And yeah, because we were definitely close. Oh, actually, if I open this hood, it might actually hit that shelf too. So yeah, we gotta make some room in here real quick. Voila. Oh God. Race truck. Dang, got the fresh paint. As you guys just seen in the last clip, got the rear bumper off. Luckily we had enough room for the garage door to shut. It's a few hours later from the last clip. Had to run to the store and grab some supplies, some of which was an oil drain pan because I'm sure I'm losing some oil and power steering fluid. Had to clean up the mess. It was actually leaking a little bit more oil than what you guys seen in the previous clip, so to try to negate some of that, I didn't want to make a big mess pretty much. So I went and grabbed the drain pan. Also got me a new light because the lighting I have in my garage, the hood was blocking the light. So I wanted you guys to be able to see everything. Gonna go ahead and start pulling off. I won't do anything too crazy tonight. I just want to kind of get started on it before the day tomorrow. So we're probably just going to unhook a couple of things, probably snag the battery out. Because as you guys know, the VP44 is electronic. It's not a P pump, so we're going to, when you're messing with anything electronic, you just want to take all that off. Also going to take off the throttle body. Should just be able to move that. There's just 3 bolts up top, and then you're going to have your sensor on the bottom side of it, so we'll probably unplug that just so we have a little more room to throw it off to the side. We might go ahead and disconnect the fuel lines as well, depending on how crazy we want to get. Also probably going to go ahead and take off the tube as well, which I'm looking down there, which shouldn't be too hard. So yeah, haven't done this in a while, so we'll set up the camera and start knocking some stuff out. Already have the driver's side battery took out, working on the passenger side, but I just want to point out you don't have to take your batteries out to do what we're going to do with the Tappet cover. I'm just taking them out so one, you guys have a better view camera wise to see everything that's going on, and two, since it's being a new truck, as you guys see, there's a bunch of corrosion. I just want to go ahead and take the batteries out, kind of clean them up, and see what else is underneath it I might be missing, kind of like random cables going to the batteries. So yeah, I'm just kind of taking the batteries out, just kind of take a look at everything, but you don't have to take the batteries out to do the Tappet cover. Alright, have the driver's side battery and battery tray out. Just want to show you guys, this was the bolt I'll be taking, or the nut really I'll be taking out to go ahead and get this inlet tube off that goes up to the intake elbow. So I'm taking this, instead of taking the top portion out, what some people do, I just go ahead and take out the entire tube, and then that way you have more access to your VP44, ECM, fuel lines, all the good stuff, and then also your power steering pump and your vacuum pump, which is also down here. But once all this is out of the way, you'll kind of be able to see. Alright, when you go to take this off, just be careful. Your throttle positioning sensor will be on the bottom. You don't have to unplug it once again, but if you want to give yourself more room, you can just go ahead and unplug it, which is sometimes can be a pain. Hopefully this one won't be. Alright, sweet, came right out. So when you unplug it, it just kind of gives you a little bit more wiggle room to kind of place it somewhere else. Just be careful with it. Alright, now we're at the fun part, taking the, or cracking the fuel lines. You see 1 here, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you don't see number 6, which is always a fun one to get to. There is one back there, believe me. And also look at this fuel filter. What in the world? They just put up a beat up fuel filter on here, which is also sitting kind of sideways. The camera probably doesn't show it, but the fuel filter is sitting sideways. And I'm also pretty sure that this little ratchet clamp right here is not factory, so that was probably put in afterwards. So yeah, let's go ahead and get cracking on these fuel lines. Alright, we got the first 5 lines cracked. We were working on getting the engine hook out of the way to be able to get to that 6th injector line. and it needs a little persuasion. Okay. So let's see if we can't get that hook out real quick. And there's the second bolt. So now we can get this hook out of here. And for some reason it is wrapped in the windshield washer fluid. I didn't realize that was, I don't remember my old one being like that, but for some reason it's wrapped in the, pretty sure it's a windshield wiper fluid. It's like midnight here, just trying to get these injector lines off before tomorrow. Alright, there's the hook. Hook this back up so I don't forget. And now we're going to work on trying to get that sixth one out, which is way far in the back, which is always the most fun. Alright guys, it's currently the next day. I kind of waited because I thought the lighting would get better. I did go ahead and crack all these injector lines off last night. This morning, I'm currently just taking the supply lines off the VP44, as you see my wrench right here. But you can't see it right now, but past the lines for the VP44, I can see the side of the block where the Tappet cover is, and it's oil soaked. So once I get this VP off, we'll really be able to see. But I have these, LED lights and everything, hoping that the camera quality will be a little bit better, but you still can't see anything. And I actually have my shop lights on, and it's sunny out, so I got the windows cracked. But the lighting just isn't the best in here. But I'm trying to bring you guys along for the process. But yeah, go ahead and snap these lines off the VP44. We'll get these two sets of lines. I say two sets because I take them off in threes, which you guys will see here in a second. We'll go ahead and yank those off, and then we'll go ahead and attack this VP44. Alright, fuel filter is making its way out. Alright, this should be the last bolt for this bracket, and the injector line should come off. Kind of weasel that sixth one out behind that wiring harness. And voila. Now we have to grab this nut off of the VP44 right here. It's an 1 1/16, which we got the big boy out, not this one, but the massive one over the valve cover right there. So we're going to crank that nut off. The nut, when you crank it off, won't fall off into the timing case, but there's a washer back there, which you can use your fingers to get it out. Usually I just have a magnet. So I'm going to use this magnet to go ahead and get the washer out. But this part is where it's kind of the nerve-wracking part, because you can kind of screw this up pretty quick. And we have to make sure that key's lined up. This isn't necessarily a how-to video, but just kind of want to show you guys the process of what's going on. But I will say, if you guys do take the VP44 off, there's it should say top dead center somewhere up here. It's kind of hard to finagle a flashlight, but it should say top dead center. You just want to make sure the key is lined up with that before you yank the VP44 out. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and try to yank this nut off, get the washer out, and then we'll line up the VP key, and then we will pull out the VP44, and which should give us access to the Tappet cover. Alright, here's the nut. Now we'll go ahead and grab our magnet and drop our mirror in between the intercooler and the radiator. Even with a magnet, it's still kind of sketchy. Woo. And then there is our washer. Like I said, you can use your fingers to grab it out. I'm just really bad at it, so I just use a magnet and kind of cheat. But yeah, don't want to drop that into your timing case cover. Alright, this is probably going to be the worst angle in history for you guys to see this, but I'm going to try to show it to you anyways. So you guys see, look in the mirror, TDC, top dead center. You kind of follow the line down, and you kind of see the key. It's very hard to see down there, especially if you don't know what you're looking for, but there's a keyway, and you got to make sure that's lined up with the top dead center right there. And like I said, this is not a how-to video, just kind of want to show you guys this. It gets kind of frightening, but we are making our way to the tappet cover. So yeah, I got the keyway lined up, and let's go ahead and it should just be about four 15 millimeter bolts to take it off. So let's get at it. Oh, I forgot how heavy these things are. Don't get caught on the banjo bolt for me. Oh God. Woo. You guys probably can't tell, but the key is still on there. Thank you, Jesus. Well, there's the VP44. This is the gasket, which we will be replacing. Since we're taking it off, some guys don't replace the gasket, but we are. It's only like a few bucks, so might as well, if you gotta take the VP44 off. I'm out of breath, this thing is heavy, I forgot. I might as well go ahead and replace this gasket. Well then, there you guys have it. This is probably the episode 1 of doing a tappet cover. Don't know how long this video is going to be, but probably going to go ahead and end this part out here. And yeah, we've got a lot of... Actually, let me go ahead and show you guys the tappet cover. Well, intake tube is off, grid heater is off, throttle body housing is off, injector lines are off, VP44 is off. And we are pretty much there. Still got to take the ECM off, but you guys can see the tappet cover and look at all the oil on the side of the block. So yeah, that is why it's getting that really pretty tappet cover right over there. And that'll probably be in the next video. Not sure how long this one's going to be, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this one here and make a part 2 on it. But yeah, making progress on the Cummins. Hope you guys are enjoying it. We will see you in the next one. Thanks.